Is your blog struggling to get the visitors you deserve? Are you disappointed that all your hard work isn't getting the results you're expecting? In this video, I'm going to share 5 simple steps to get more visitors to your blog in 2022 and beyond, even if you've never written a single blog post before. So, if you're excited to grow your blog, give this video a like so that more people can see it, and be sure to subscribe. It's totally free to do so, and you can always change your mind later. And be sure to hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video each week on Tuesdays. I've been blogging since 2007, and my first blog was so successful that a publisher called me to write a book for them. That book has generated over $1 million in sales to date, and I still get royalty direct deposits every single month. Since then, I've been helping bloggers just like you to launch their own digital careers. Step 1, be consistent. If you want to attract more blog readers, you need a consistent content strategy. Think about my YouTube channel. What if I had posts and videos on losing weight, getting a girlfriend, fertility, starting a business online, investing in cryptocurrency, and gardening? The range, it's just too wide. You'll think of me as a jack of all trades and a king of none. Visitors to your website are only can come back if you have the content that they want. That means all your content needs to make sense next to the first post that they read. Create content that you would expect to see on a website that falls under your content umbrella. The danger with making a blog about all the different topics that you enjoy is that you're creating a shrinking Venn diagram. How many people like all the same things that you do? The more content you post that doesn't match my interests, the less likely I am to ever come back. And we want those repeat visitors. Consistent content also means posting on a regular schedule. This doesn't seem important to the author, but it's so critical to the visitors to your blog. They need to know how often to come back expecting new content. How would you feel if someone posted 5 blog posts on Sunday and then nothing until the next Saturday, then they post 3 blogs and then nothing for another 2 weeks? You would train them to stop visiting your blog. Each time someone visits your site and doesn't see new content, you disappoint them. Do this enough times and you lose them forever. For first-time visitors, it only takes one disappointment for them to assume that your blog is dead and never come back again. This is why news sites like the Huffington Post publish new content every single minute. Actually, it's even more frequent than that. When choosing a content frequency, stick with a number that you can maintain. If you can only write 1 blog post a month, then don't promise more than that. Ideally, you want to publish 5 to 7 posts a week, but that's a lot to commit to when you're just starting. The best way to start is to pick 1 day of the week to publish a new post. Once you've written and scheduled a few months of content in advance, you can start writing bonus content for another day of the week. If you find you can keep up with this 2 posts a week schedule, then you do the same thing again. Schedule a few months in advance and then add a 3rd bonus day of content. The more frequently you post new content, the more frequently your visitors will come back. Step 2, write traffic generating content. When you write about topics that interest you without doing any research, you create a blog with only 1 reader. You. It's better to use your interest as the outer boundary of what you write about, but create content that your readers want the most to get started. To get more blog traffic, write about topics that people are already searching for on Google. There are tons of amazing keyword research tools to help you find out what people are searching for. The free tool that you should start with is called Ubersuggest. I'll post a link to it in the comments below. We're at Ubersuggest, which is my favorite free search engine research tool. You can find it at neilpatel.com/Ubersuggest. And let's just type in blog traffic, because that's what we're looking for, to see how we can get more traffic to your blog. That's the topic of this video. And let's do a little search. Now, what we're really looking for is down here under the keyword ideas. We have a few columns. It's keyword, trend, volume, cost per click, paid keyword difficulty, SEO difficulty. So since we're not doing paid traffic, we don't need to worry about this one column as much. What we're really looking for is a green that has decent traffic. So an example here, a great keyword is how to increase blogger traffic. 210 searches a month. It's a difficulty of 13. It's the lowest difficulty on the page. And 210, maybe you're saying that's a lot of traffic or maybe a little, but think about this. If you write a blog post article, you're number 1 for this term, you're going to get 200 visitors a month. If you do 10 of these articles, that's 2,000 visitors a month. You do it 10 times that, now you're 20,000 visitors a month. And you're a serious blog that's getting even more traffic than my blog. So this is how we look for keywords. You want to find high volume, low SEO difficulty. So the higher this number is and the lower this number is, the absolute better. Step 3. Once we've found the keywords we're going to write our blog posts about, we need to optimize our content. When I started in 2010, optimizing your content was so easy. You would just stuff the keyword into the page as many times as possible. It doesn't work anymore. Now there are dozens of metrics that Google looks for on a page to make sure that the content matches what people are searching for. Doing this manually is an absolute nightmare. Fortunately, there's a WordPress plugin called Rankmath that does most of the heavy lifting for you. As you write and edit your post, you can see a score on the right-hand side of the screen showing how close you are to SEO perfection. Here we have a blog post from last year called Repurpose Podcast Content. And you can see it has an SEO score of 82 over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, this is with the classic editor. So Rankmath is going to be at the bottom of the page. We scroll down past the whole post. What we want to look at here is Rankmath SEO. And so you can see first we enter in our keyword. And what's really beautiful is it tells us all the things that we can do to make it better. So we want to put the keyword more in the content. We want to put it at the beginning of the content. You can see where it's used, the things that are good, it likes the length. So this is why the score is 82. If I wanted to make the score a little bit higher, I could. And we do have a lot of posts that are higher. We can see there's an error here. The keyword density is low because the keyword isn't in the content anywhere. So if I want to boost this up, I can do that really easily. And so let's go back. Our focus keyword is repurpose podcast content. So we're just saying we want to repurpose podcast content. You can spell podcast right. Podcast content, because creating would take that C and make it small. We've made a small change. We've just added one beginning of the sentence. You want to repurpose podcast content. And we go back down here to our Rankmath score, jumped up to 88. Pretty cool, right? So it shows us all these places. So it wants to see it more often. It tells us how many times it appears. It gives us really good data. You can see there's a lot of green check marks. So it depends how fastidious you want to be, but you want to get as high as possible to get here. It says one paragraph is too long. Probably we can scroll up and down and find it, which one it's talking about. Maybe it's this one. It's like 4 lines. I don't know if there's a longer one, but they like lots of small, snappy paragraphs, just like a newspaper article. And then we can go to other settings. We go to advanced. And we can play around with the URL if we want to change it. Like this should be repurpose podcast content without the how-to if I want to change it. You can also mess with the schema here, which is pretty cool, all for SEO purposes. And then there's also some social sharing stuff you can see as well that we'll cover in another video. But this helps us to do our SEO. So as you're writing the article, it will tell you what you need to change and what you can do to make the article rank better in the search engine results. And it's all with Rankmath. And you can see I don't have the pro version. I use the free version and it works awesome. If you're enjoying this video so far, please make sure to hit the like button. This helps other people to find this content, helps me to create more content for you. Right now, I'm posting a new video every single week on Tuesday. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to post more frequently. Step number 4, make it as easy as possible for people to share your content and share it yourself. You want to create at least 2 social media images for each post. One should be wide for Facebook and one should be tall for Pinterest. You can use free tools like Canva to create your social images from templates. I like to use a program called Affinity Photo, which is a much more affordable version of Photoshop. And it allows me to work on graphics even when I'm offline. And looking at this blog post, which was written by someone on my team last year, we can see the social share images, and they're honestly terrible. They don't match my branding. They don't have the right wording on it. And this is probably why there's no social shares, right? So I'm going to go back and fix it. What I do is I go to 123rf.com, which is just my stock photo site. You can use any stock photo site you want. I like to use only vectors. So I'm just going to pick something and I'm going to create a social image really, really quickly with you guys. So let me see one that I like. A lot of these are really, really busy, and I'm going to use this because it's really simple, okay? So I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to download it. We're going to edit it right now in my favorite video editor. So I like to download medium size if I don't need a larger one. You can see that because my internet's wonky, it doesn't often show the preview, but the image does download. All right, so here's the image that downloaded. I'm just going to click open with Affinity Photo. Affinity Photo is my favorite video editor. I can't talk enough about it. I've been using it for years. It fluctuates in price between $20 and $50, just depending if it's on sale. It's loading, and there's just nothing that I've ever found that's as easy. You want to find whatever works best for you. If the best thing for you is Canva or PicMonkey or a different tool, that's fine. I just find that this is basically better than Photoshop for me, and it's worked really, really well. So we have our stock photo image, and I'm just going to click new because I want to get the right shape. And I have 2 templates. I have my social warfare, social media wide, and Pinterest. Basically, it's 1200 by 625 and 1000 by 1500. So let's do this one first. With create, and I'm going to do this really quickly. So I'm just going to click copy, and see it's way, way bigger. So that's good because that means we can just fill it out really quickly. And let me just go back in. I'm just going to make it fit a little bit better. I want it like this. Yeah. So you can see the background has all this extra white. So I'm just going to do the selection tool, make it the color that I'm editing. Click the paint bucket. I'm going to spill it on the background. Okay. See, it blocked it all, but it's actually a different layer. So now we have it filled in. We're just going to add our text, which is repurpose podcast content. So I don't know why they put what's old is new again. That's insane. So I'm fixing this right now. You can see the text is so small, I can't see if it's spelled right, and that's okay. I always end up having to fix it. My standard font is one that I purchased called Bada Boom. So this is a font that's a paid font, paid about $40 to be allowed to use it on my website. Yeah, you can see that this is spelled wrong. It should be an O. All right, and then I'm gonna make it 3 lines, and then we want to center it. And then I'm just gonna drag it out to fill out the space. And the next thing we do is play around with colors to see what pops from the background. So that really pops. It's almost so bright it hurts the eyes. There we go. That's a little less offensive. A little secret tool that I use for my font, right? Let's be honest, it's hard to read right now. If I click on effects for this layer and I click on outline, it makes a black outline, and watch what happens as I slowly add it. It becomes readable. First, it adds just a little bit, like it pops, and then it starts to get a little bit more comic-y. See that? And then we can go crazy. It's way too much. So this is probably the most I would do. And that just really pops. It's really readable. I can play around stretching it out a little bit more and giving a little space. So I'm going to do that. And then I click export, JPG. See, it's the exact size we want. Call it what it is. And I always end them in wide or tall, so I know which one is which. That's just me. I'm going to do file new, and we're going to do the tall one, the Pinterest one. Okay. And we're just going to go back here and go to layers. I grab the 3 layers I'm working with. Copy, go in here and just paste them. And so we have the makings of a great post. What I really want to play around with first is this one. So it just is too small. So we're just going to start stretching it out. Let's get it centered. And then we're going to center this. You see, make it wider. It's a little bit more than I want. And I like that. Okay, so file, export. I just want to call it tall instead of wide. And that's how quickly and easily, with Affinity Photo, I can create my 2 social share images. Once I create the images, I want to add them to my blog post so that the image I want is shared whenever someone clicks a share button on my website. Rankmath not only handles all my SEO needs, it also has me covered for social sharing. Now that we've made our 2 images in Affinity Photo, we want to go back to Rankmath inside of our post and click Edit Snippet. And so the first thing I want to do is add an image. Now here they say they want up to 1200 by 630, minus 1200 by 625, so it has a little breathing room. I just click Add Image, and I'm going to drag and drop in. I'm actually going to drag and drop in both images just to have them here for me. So this is the wide. This is the one I actually want, the wide image. And you can fill in the alt text and the description, all those things for better SEO. And I want to just show you this quickly. That it will replace it and see how much better it looks for repurposed podcast content. It matches my branding. And you can see what it will look like if it gets shared on Facebook. Then you want to fill it in with the title. If you want to change the title, you can fill in the description. If you want to do the description, then you can look at Twitter and see how that looks. Now, once you can also play with the SEO snippet. I also use social warfare. You can see I want to swap these out because it looks terrible. And so you have these 2 options. Rankmath is free, but social warfare also adds in this Pinterest one. You can see that that's actually the wrong shape anyways. It wasn't filling in the box. That's why I even really noticed it. So now it fills it in perfectly. So again, we fill in all of this text with our open graph title, say contest repurposing your golden ticket. Come on, that doesn't make any sense. Change something like reuse content across your social channels, write a little description, make sure that it's clear what it is, put in a custom tweet, has my hashtag serve no master. So this is what social warfare does. It's a little bit more than what Rankmath does, but this is a paid plugin, so I wanted to show you both plugins you can choose from. You want to add buttons to your website so that people can share the content with a single click. The easier it is for people to share your content, the more likely they are to do it. For social sharing, I also use the Social Warfare Pro plugin. It's a paid plugin, so I'm also going to show you a free one, don't worry. You can choose which social network shares you want. So if you want LinkedIn or Mix, Blogger, Buffer, Parler, Pocket, WhatsApp, whatever platforms use VK if you're in Russia. And you can choose how you want to sort the buttons, like if you want to do it manually or want most popular to go left or right. You can say to emphasize a particular button, which you think is more important, so one appears bigger. Then you say where you want it to appear, choose how many counts you want to show. If you want it to appear on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, below the content, above the content, you can choose all of those things. If you want to kind of float on the left-hand side of the screen, you can choose that. So and turn it on or off. So it does a lot of these cool things. It's really simple, but I like it, and it's what I've been using for a long time. The other choice, a free version, is a free plugin called Easy Social Sharing by ThemeGrill. It does the exact same thing, very similar. So if you want to use Rankmath plus this to kind of cover everything for free, that's an alternative option. You can see themegrill.com, and you just download it. They have other paid stuff, but this one's free, and it's got a lot of good reviews. You can see it's all 5 and 4-star reviews. WordPress, and this allows people to just click a button on your post and share it, and then the images that we set up earlier are what appear on the social networks. Step 5. Interact with every social contact and visitor. Reply to every like, comment, follow, and direct message you receive on your social media channels. Every visitor is an actual person, and it's your job to make them feel appreciated. This is the best way to get them coming back for more. Social media is the fastest way to get free website traffic, and the more you engage with people, the more traffic you will generate as they share your content on their own channels. I spend at least an hour each day responding across all of my socials. And yes, if you leave a comment below, I'll be the one who replies to you. Put the same effort in handling your blog comments. Respond to each person who leaves a comment and take the time to visit their website if they share a link. Leave a comment for them on their website and they will really feel good about coming back to visit you again. Creating a blog can be tough. You put in all that hard work and it feels like nobody is reading. Grab my free guide on how to get your first 100 subscribers right now at servermaster.com/100. And if this video is useful, please hit the like button below so that I can help even more people to kickstart their blogs. And if you hated it, it's okay to hit the dislike button too. See you in the next video.